Mr. Trump lost 3.4 million jobs. And she sends a message, a straight message, when she said that friends, don't let friends vote for Trump. She is working to unify the country, and her slogan is stronger together. Maybe you have seen that, or have you heard that slogan, stronger together, by Mrs. Clinton. And once again, she's again the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, and Secretary Clinton had mentioned that she will renegotiate NAFTA. And there are some of the economic proposals by the Democratic candidate, and she's asking the people to go out and vote in November the 8th, and this kind of the economics proposal by her. And I want to welcome Mr. Steven Figueroa, that he's been with us and to take part of this analysis of this presidential election. And also I want to welcome Maribel Serrano. She's been also with us. She get a permission from the President Obama, this DACA student, former DACA student, and she did a documentary about where she portrays her life as those challenges that she faces as a student, as an immigrant in this country. And thank you very much for being once again with a new look.
With a new look.
Maribel, thank you, and Mr. Figueroa, thank you very much for being with us again. About this week, those accusations against Mrs. Hillary Clinton, Secretary Clinton.
Well, first of all, this idiot attorney Lanky, I understand he's sued the federal government 86 times and has lost every single time. He sued Clinton, he sued Bush, he sued Obama over his birthright. He's just notorious right-wing nut. So I don't give those lawsuits any credibility whatsoever. And he's basically manipulating these families of these poor individuals that died because of what's going on in the Middle East. We can't control it no more than we control the sun rising and going down at the end of the day.
I have to ask you, Maribel, because you were not here after the two conventions, the Democratic and the Republican. Mm-hmm. Did you watch the conventions? What's your take on that convention?
I watched some of the speeches of the Democratic.
What is kind of that? What do you remember until today? What was the more important, or that speech that impacts yourself as an immigrant? What was it? Because we've seen in the Democrats, for example, Michelle Obama, President Clinton, and those immigrants that they were talking about their stories that were so dramatic that when Secretary Clinton told them, the immigrants, that she will help them, those 11 million people that are here without documents, that she will help them. But what was some of the things that you remember more?
Well, the speeches that I watched were from the Democratic National Convention, and I feel like I can just relate to all of it. I mean, every speech had something that I was able to relate to because it's speaking to Americans just in general, and it was just I felt it was very welcoming and inclusive. Talked about immigrants, different things that are going on in the world. So I just felt there wasn't one thing that kind of stood out. It was kind of, the way it was structured was very well done. And I mean, the speeches in general were very inspiring. I did not watch much of the Republican National Convention because I consider it like, to me it's still a joke. Like, I don't consider this person a politician. This is just someone that has a lot of money and power, and I don't even consider him a Republican, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of Republicans have come out against his comments and policies, and I don't feel that. I don't see that and be like, okay, this is a Republican. I just feel like this is just him.
As a woman, do you really think that this candidate has offended the woman in general?
That if she's
that Mr. Trump has offended the woman in general? You take it like that as a woman? Because of those comments that he has done, for example, against Megyn Kelly from Fox, that he said that he was bleeding and got kind of strong?
I think he's just offensive to so many people. I mean, he just says whatever comes out of his mouth, no filter. And I mean, if you're trying to represent the United States, you just can't do that, right? It's just, you're working, what he doesn't understand is as president, you'd be working for the people. They're not working for you.